In this episode, we explore military testing areas, get up close with Australia's biggest bird of prey, and discover why no one lives in Coober Pedy.
Tomorrow morning we leave to drive to Darwin. Hopefully trying to aim to leave at 5 in the morning, which we will. We've got 1,000 k's to go to Coober Pedy, so we're going to need every minute of the day. We have just finished packing meals, and looks bloody good.
We got it all in.
Yeah. I love the swag on the top. She's tucked in nicely, and she's packed all the way to the rafters. Mills and I have just done about an hour out of Port Augusta. That's about right.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a nap, so it's hard to tell. And look at this great view we've got from up here. Absolutely insane.
There's not much on this stretch from Adelaide to Coober Pedy, besides these salt lakes that occasionally fill up with water after a heavy rain. We can understand why the Australian military uses this area to test their missiles. We stop at Hart Lake, one of the most accessible salt lakes, to check them out up close.
So we've just put up to Lake Hart, and we're going to have a walk down to the water's edge. Ah yes, very wet Lake Hart at the moment. This place is absolutely massive. Looks like it's all dried salt, as far as the eye could see. So, this area is used for testing war vehicles. I've rated this prohibited area used for testing stuff. Wow, look at this. The landscape out here is just insane. All you can see is white and blue. And it goes on forever when you're down here. It looks like it'll take days to walk across. It's starting to get crunchy underfoot from the salt. There was obviously some sort of man-made structure out here, made out of wood. Some sort of jetty, and there was water in here once upon a time. I don't think you'd survive if you had to walk across that without water. You'd dry out pretty fast. No war base, no waste dump on Aboriginal land.
As we leave the salt lakes behind, we come across a bizarre animal relaxing on the road.
We've pulled up on the side of the road, and there's an eagle sitting on the road here.
This is a wedge-tailed eagle, Australia's biggest bird of prey. We could see the intelligence in his eyes we were this close. These birds have been recorded carrying burning sticks to spread bushfires in order to flush out prey. Thankfully, this one wasn't hurt. He just seemed to be relaxing in the middle of the road.
We have just pulled up to Glendambo. There's not much here. There's a petrol station, but the next stop's Coober Pedy at 250 k's.
As you get closer to Coober Pedy, you start to see these mounds of dirt, showing you where people are mining for opal. This is a sign you're getting closer.
We've just arrived in Coober Pedy at our accommodation. Check it out, this is where we're parked. The town is cut down this way to the left. I'll show that later. Here is our spot, little apartment. Absolutely perfect. Come inside. We just arrived, excuse the mess. But it is absolutely lovely. Very happy. Maybe I'm pretty exhausted after 9 hours of driving today. We might have a nap and then go have a pub feed somewhere.
Coober Pedy is one of the quietest towns I've ever seen. Driving through, we can understand why. Its average temperature in summer is 36 degrees. It's much cooler to be inside and underground.
We're up early the second morning because I want to see the sunrise over the desert, so hopefully we capture that in the next half an hour when we get on the road.
In the next episode, we see the best desert sunrise, arrive in Alice Springs, and explore Uluru. We got up nice and early to leave Coober Pedy. The desert sunrise was absolutely amazing.
It's breakfast time now, and in classic camping style, it's not very complicated. A few strawberries, a bit of peas and Greek yogurt, some juice, some tuna, and we're set for the rest of the day. The birds around here are just going off.
4 hours later, and we're arriving in the Northern Territory.
Now we must figure out the COVID situation. Someone's got their bonnet up. Their poor souls. Let's go and see them. Oh. Let's go ahead and see them first. Give them a hand. It's not that we can do much, unfortunately. Oh. I wouldn't worry about it. I think they're okay.
After taking some classic tourist shots on the border, we headed our way. What's amazing about heading to the Northern Territory is, as soon as you cross over, it feels like everything gets more rocky and there's more rivers instantly. It's such a distinct change from South Australia.
Here we are. Pull up into Alice Springs. The first step for us is probably to get our COVID rat test done and pick up those 3 tests.
We don't waste much time in Alice Springs. We stock up on food and water and do our rapid antigen tests, and then we head on our way to see Uluru.
We have hit the road and we are on our way to Uluru.
Yep. So we got 2 nights camping this weekend, and it should be eventful because they're forecasting rain this weekend.
It's coming in this afternoon, which will be amazing to see because it doesn't often happen.
As you drive to Uluru, you'll pass by Mount Connor, which looks very similar to Uluru. Mount Connor was actually part of an ancient mountain range, but erosion pulled down the sandstone walls either side of it. Shortly after passing Mount Connor, we see Uluru. Without hesitating, we go into the park to have a closer look.
This is one of the most amazing experiences of my life, no doubt. I cannot do this justice. It is like looking up the smoothest mountainside you've ever seen.
Nitmiluk is one of 2 permanent water sources at Uluru. This area was used by indigenous families to collect water, hunt for meat, and collect bush tucker. The permanent water in this area makes this area rich in plant and animal life.
Lying down is actually the best way to take in this artwork, silly enough, because it's just the right angle and you can really see it all.
As we walked in, thousands of birds were coming down to drink from the waterhole. This teaches a valuable lesson about Uluru. It isn't just the largest monolith in the world, it's a tap that watered the indigenous people and wildlife for thousands of years. We head back to Uluru to make camp for the night and prepare for our big day tomorrow, where we're going to walk around the base of Uluru.
The sun is rising on Uluru this morning as we speak, and we've just pulled up to our walk today. We're going to be walking around the base of it. It's absolutely stunning. You can see here where they used to walk up Uluru, and we're heading this way around Uluru and enjoying the hike. It's about 10 kilometers, so 3 hours. It's actually really quite cool today. Expecting a top of about 28-30. So it should be a good day.
As we walk around Uluru, we visit some of the caves that would have provided valuable shelter from the blistering heat. Inside lots of these caves, you can find smooth, round holes where seeds were ground into powder. These caves were also used for ceremonial purposes. You can see the stains on the ceilings left from the fires.
And so far it's one of the most amazing experiences of your life. You have to come do this. It's hard to put into words the scale of this landscape and the cultural significance of it for local indigenous people. You've got to come here and see the artwork and the water sources and the shelter.
Sit and feel it. You can't really describe it. You need to sit there and be there to feel and understand it.
What a sight. What a feeling, Millie.
Pretty cool.
Never thought I'd be walking in the rain in Uluru. Here comes the rain.
Uluru started to form 550 million years ago, when the whole area was covered by sea. Sand fell to the bottom of the sea and compressed to make sandstone. 100 million years later, and the water receded, leaving behind a mountain of sandstone. Over the last 300 million years, the softer outer edges were eroded away, leaving Uluru behind. Uluru is made out of arkose, which is often a grey colour. However, Uluru appears red because of the oxidisation of the iron in the sandstone. When it rains on Uluru, you can see it becomes a purple colour, which is much closer to the actual colour of arkose.
We have just finished the hike, and I tell you what, this despite it being fairly cool today and having some rain on us, we are fairly gassed.
Yeah.
The moderate hike was no joke. We're sitting here looking up as it rains on us, enjoying this view. Yes, definitely worth doing the hike, but get in early and enjoy it. It's a bloody long way, but it's gorgeous.
Looking back, the significance of Uluru is hard to comprehend. In our tiny lives, we can't appreciate how this monolith has been a beacon of life to thousands of generations of Indigenous Australians. We need to do everything we can to preserve the health of this amazing region. Key dangers to Uluru include introduced animals, invasive weeds, bushfires, over-tourism and vandalism.
Mills and I contemplating what to do because it's 10 o'clock here in Uluru and it's a 3-hour drive to Kings Canyon, and it's raining now, but we're expecting 40 to 70 mils of rain this evening tomorrow. So we're not really sure what we're going to do because Kings Canyon's got no accommodation, so we're either camping it in 70 mils of rain with flooded roads potentially. Yes, we're not in a four-wheel drive.
In the next episode, we hike up Kings Canyon in a storm, explore the Garden of Eden, and discover the Northern Territory's best hike. Stick around. In this episode, we hike Kings Canyon in a storm, climb some rocks, and explore the Garden of Eden. We start this journey by driving to Kings Canyon from Uluru. The George Gill Ranges are spectacular to watch as you drive along. These were named by Ernest Gillis to honour his brother-in-law who funded his expedition. He was one of the first colonial settlers to visit the ranges here.
Will they move?
Will they move?
I don't know.
Just chilled out.
Very chilled out. Please go you up and ups. Oh.
Mills and I have arrived at Kings Canyon. We've been conned into doing the big walk by the girl at the petrol station. She told us it's not as long as it says it is and that we can do it. So we're going to give this big long walk a crack. It's 2 o'clock, so we've got a couple of hours to do it, and then we're going to run back to Alice before we get slammed this rain. That's the plan. Let's do it. It's currently raining fairly heavily and we have to climb up this rim, the edge, all those cliffs. Wow. This is amazing. Check out this view. It's a very steep edge of the cliff here. You don't want to fall from up here because I'm
Long way down.
a long way down into the valley there.
We're completing the rim walk around Kings Canyon. It's a 6-kilometre hike that takes you along both edges of the canyon.
So on this rim walk, you do have to walk 100 metres up, pretty much a vertical cliff face to get to the rim of the canyon. Once you've done that, it's actually quite mellow up here, besides the breeze, and you have a stunning view. Look at that. That's just amazing. Definitely recommend this walk, but you do need to be fit and have lots of water.
Kings Canyon is home to 2 indigenous tribes, the Lurija and Arenti. This gorge provided valuable water to these tribes for over 20,000 years, keeping them alive and healthy during several droughts. In this landscape alone, there are 60 plant species that are unique to this area that you won't see anywhere else in the world.
So we've just climbed all the way up back of these cliffs, and we haven't seen the canyon in a while, so I think we're going to pop through this gap and see the canyon on the other side. Gosh, it's hot up here. Wow. It's gorgeous. What a place. Hey Millie! It's a nice little climb up these little steps. It's a fair old view from up here. Oh my god, it keeps going behind me. Wow. We're back on the track now, following our little blue markers. We've been pretty lucky actually on this walk so far. We actually haven't copped that much rain yet.
No, just when we came up the stairs.
Just up the stairs we got showered in rain. But up here it's lovely. Trees. Yeah, and that's the other thing, we've got these big cliffs blocking the wind. It's really nice up here. Millie was just saying to me, it'd be great to have a full day to explore up here because these canyons run all the way back and you could just keep climbing them and keep exploring them. And I would love to do that. Millie and I have just started walking along and then looked up and gone, oh wow. And it really is, oh wow, look at this. This is like stepping back in time. Wow. I don't want to get too close to the edge. This is almost the highest spot on the walk, and it is amazing up here. Oh, I don't like cliffs that much. I'll stay back here a little bit. So these ripples you can see in the rocks back here are evidence that this area used to once be an ocean floor or a seabed, and that these ripples were caused by the waves and the movement of water. That is just amazing to imagine this area underwater.
400 million years ago.
Ah, 400 million years ago. Just a blink of an eye. You know how time flies. I think there is a bit of a bridge section coming up, which is probably going to be terrifying in this wind. So we'll see how this goes. Whoop.
You can go first.
I'll go first then. Oh wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. This is not what I expected to come across. Look at the water in here.
Oh, wow.
This was not what I was expecting. This is serene. This is absolutely like a little paradise tucked away. How do I get down there? And can I swim? There must be a way to get down somewhere.
4 points of contact should be right.
I don't think we'll make it down today, but I think I'm going to vow to make this my goal to get back into this and swim someday in the future, because that is too amazing. When the lovely petrol station lady told us this walk takes 2.5 hours if you're fit, I don't think she accounted for us spending 3 hours stopping here and being in awe of this landscape. As we sit here having a bit of a break, looking down into this gorge, on reflection, better than Uluru? It's
Very different.
different, but I'm almost tempted to say if you had to put a rating on it,
This is sick. This is wicked.
This is insane. This is...
To be able to explore and climb things is pretty cool.
There's also no one here in comparison to Uluru.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anyone for almost 2 hours now.
There were people at the car park, but I reckon they finished. No one started as late as us.
Yeah, no one's starting these big walks than we do. But yes, this is arguably as good or better than Uluru for exploring and the scenery.
Yeah.
So these round domes that you can see all across the landscape, once upon a time they were square in a grid, like almost like a chocolate bar. But from erosion, sand and wind and rain, they've slowly rounded off the edges, and now they're all extremely round. You can almost hardly imagine them square.
Hill domes.
Not to create fear, but we're just halfway through the walk, and it is, what I say, 3:30 in the afternoon, and there's a storm rolling in. Millie and I got to hustle up a little bit, so we're not trapped up here when it starts to rain again.
Yep.
And we can still drive home to Alice Springs. Would be nice. Sorry, Millie, let's cut you off. Beep. Oh my goodness, a little crevasse here. I was just going to jump over that. I probably won't. I'll probably just walk around the gate.
I think it just says pull metal rings. So I think you can just do that.
I thought it was locked. I'm a dickhead. We should be on the other side of the canyon now. Yep. Oh wow. We're on the cliff edge. I'm not sure if I like this.
Wow.
But that is an amazing, amazing piece. This place is spectacular. This walk just keeps throwing up little gems. As you're kind of head down walking, watching where you're going, you look up all of a sudden and wham, you're in a little hidden green paradise. Let's have a look what I've got going on over here. We finally saw some others on the walk, which was nice. I think they were French backpackers. Wow, isn't this gorgeous? Little creek bed running through here. It looks like we're finally at the end of the walk. Looks like we've got these lovely stairs to make it down, and then you can see our cars there. These are much more mellow than the other stairs on the other side. Mill's actually powering ahead. She loves it. And that's it. We have completed the walk.
It has been a day.
Oh goodness. Walked Uluru, the base of Uluru, what, 11 kilometers, and then this was another 6.
Crazy.
Plus we did backtracking along here, so call it 7. Almost 20 k's of walking today and climbing, but wouldn't change it at all.
In the next episode, we go to Katherine, hike in the Nitmiluk National Park, and swim in the best waterholes. Stick around. In this episode, we explore Alice Springs and the West McDonnell National Park.
So, the road to Ellery Springs waterhole is closed, so we've decided to park the car and actually just walk along the river along here and see if we can walk in via there and see what goes on. Bloody windy today, but we'll see how this goes.
The riverbeds you find throughout the McDonnell Ranges only flow after a huge amount of rain. However, they do fill up in spots, creating gorgeous waterholes.
We were just about to turn around and we saw this little lagoon up here in the riverbed. Let's go have a look at what's in there. despite being reassured that Alice Springs has no crocodiles anywhere near it, I think I'll stick to swimming in the shallow end of the pool. I really am not brave enough to swim in the deep stuff. Look at that. Nice little day as it rains on me. Hasn't gone quite to plan with... We couldn't get into our walk, but we'll make the most of it and find somewhere else to go swim. And we're all alone here, which is nice. Except there's a few little ducks up there. So after a nice little dip here, we think we're going to head back to Alice and have a look at some cultural centres and just kind of cruise around and have a look at some of the spots to see in Alice. Thank you for having us. Billabong, Waterhole, Creek Bed. It's been nice.
It's been nice.
After leaving our little secret waterhole, we head to Simpsons Gap. This place is one of the few gaps that allow you to squeeze through the McDonnell Ranges. On the way back, Mills and I have pulled through and dropped into Simpsons Gap.
My glasses are stretched.
Okay, Millie.
What an amazing spot this is. Got a big river running through this absolute gorgeous canyon. And a little walk we can do over here. Maybe we'll go down for a walk in the riverbed first, then we'll come do the walk later. Wow. This is amazing. What a gorgeous spot. Wowee. The height of these canyon walls is absolutely insane. When you're driving along, they look tall, but when you get underneath, oh my goodness. It almost feels like they're an impossible height. And this place is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning in here. For an area that is only half an hour out of Alice Springs, maybe less, this place is amazing. Check out the water and the cliffs here. We still have this storm front rolling through the bow behind us. So it's really windy today. You can see where the cliffs have slowly started to fall away in here. The sound this must make is more rocks fall off. It'd be absolutely amazing. Yeah, I know. Even the ones that fall into the river here, the creek system, absolutely amazing. This place has probably been another area that's taken 300 million years to form and develop into this. We're getting on the road this morning, leaving Alice Springs, and we're heading hopefully to Katherine today. It's about 1,200 kilometers and it's a big drive, but we're going to try and smash it out. I'm just dropping the last of our stuff off to the car, and then we're going to have breakfast here in the hotel, and then we're going to get on our merry way and get on the road. Big 12 hours of driving today, so hopefully on the road by 7:30, and hopefully finishing up at 8 o'clock. In this episode, we explore Katherine and the amazing Nitmiluk National Park, and as a bonus, we swim in some amazing waterholes. Here we are in Nitmiluk National Park. It's just us at the moment. We're looking at doing about 8k walk up through the gorge.
And then hopefully we can go for a swim and there'll be running water at the waterfall.
Check out these formations in the rocks. Isn't that amazing? So these rocks is called Camboji sandstone. And it's where, over thousands of years, the bigger, heavier rocks have fallen to the bottom, and then sand and sediment has come through and filled it up around it. We're only a couple hundred meters into this walk, but it is brilliant. You can see the river down there, and we're walking along this ridge line, and it is just gorgeous. Right now in the wet season, everything's wet and it's humid, but everything is so alive, and the smells and the sounds is unreal. We're only halfway up, and already the view is absolutely amazing. This gorge started to form 120 million years ago. Back then, this landscape was above water, this Camboji sandstone, and water seeped into the cracks and started to wear it out. And over 120 million years of erosion, this is what formed. Absolutely insane to think this is all above water one day, or this is all flat one day, and slowly through erosion, this is formed. So we're now at the top of the gorge and walking in there a little bit, and you can see the difference in Camboji limestone here. You can see this stuff is full of the smaller pebbles, whereas down the bottom of the gorge, there really was a lot more bigger pebbles in the sandstone. It's amazing to see that difference. So as we walk along this little track here, you'll see there's these big speed bumps crossing over. And the purpose of these is to stop the water running down the track in heavy rains. So when the water does run down the track, it comes off the side, and that stops the track eroding away.
Nitmiluk National Park has been home to the Darwin people for thousands of years. It was only recently that the Darwin tribe was given back their land. In 1978, the indigenous people campaigned for the land to be returned to their ownership. They were successful, with their land returned to them. Now the area is successfully co-managed with Northern Territory Parks and Wildlife and the Darwin people.
We're just over halfway there to this Rockhole where we're going to swimming, and we've come across a very interesting little creek system. Oh, and there's a bridge on the creek. We don't even have to walk across. Look how clear it is here. I know. It's obviously a watering hole for local animals. Very nice.
We're walking to the southern Rockhole waterfall. This is a seasonal waterfall that runs in the wet season. It's a fairly intense walk, so make sure you get up early and do it while it's cool.
I can hear waterfalls, and I can see all the water. Look at that view. And the waterfall is down there somewhere. Wowee. This is the first rock pool you can swim in, or the first pool. Absolutely gorgeous. Crystal clear water, covered in shade. The water temperature is just gorgeous in here. Not cold, not warm, just stunning. We're almost there. Looks like we're to climb down these steps into the gorge. Yes, you can hear the water now, and we're well and truly inside this little mini gorge. I don't think we're far away. Bit of a gnarly path through here. The ankles and your knees. Oh my goodness, check this out. This is amazing. This is just amazing. Check out this. This is just incredible. I think it's time for a swim. Check out the view behind me. And as you think it can't get any better, you turn around and look up and you see that as a view. Cliffs, waterfalls. Oh, it is to die for. I cannot believe there is a double waterfall here, up there as well.
So this waterhole is safe to swim in when opened up by the Northern Territory Parks and Wildlife, but I was still nervous with the high water level from all the rain.
That was one of the best swims ever. It's totally crotch safe in there, and it's gorgeous and fresh. Check out these little riverbeds for here. They are absolutely stunning. Crystal clear water flowing through here. We have just walked down to the end of the gorge where it meets the river, I believe. And you can see there's some chains here to tell you not to swim in this because there could be crocs in here. We're gonna have one last swim in this top waterhole and then get on our way. My goodness, when you climb up that canyon, you get hot and sweaty again. You need another pull, another dip.
On the way out, we stumbled across another beautiful clear waterhole. This one had a great sandy bottom, making it perfect for swimming.
We've just finished lunch. I took Luke to a cafe that I went to all the time. And so we got our caramel slice for the car ride and we are heading out of Katherine to Darwin to finish off our trip.
In the next episode, we explore Litchfield National Park. In this episode, we explore Litchfield National Park in the wet season.
It's a great morning. We've just driven a couple of hours south of Darwin. I say a couple of hours, hour and a half. We're in Litchfield National Park today. This is my first time here. I'm with Jess at the front and Millie behind the camera. And we're doing the Cascades walk. We're getting to the upper Cascade, which is open because there's no crocodiles up there. But there should be some crocodiles down below on the lower one. Park to ourselves today.
Yeah, you do.
And this is where we're going. We are here. We're heading up, hitting this river, and climbing our way up here to the swim today. We've stumbled across some green ants. Oh, and there's a lizard on this tree. And they're pretty tasty. Here they are down here. Now the trick is to grab them by the head and then eat the ass. Which doesn't sound very right, but that's what you gotta do. We'll have you. Have you. There you go, got him. You see that? And then you eat the bum. It's very tart. It's crispy. It's crispy and tart. Kind of nice though. Have you tried it?
No, not yet.
Walking along the trail and something's digging holes in this mound. I'm not sure what it is. If it's a pig or something like that. I'm sure we'll find out as we go along later. But yeah, it looks very piggy to me.
The Cascades are actually the remains of an old lava trail, which dried up, creating this beautiful rocky path through the area. We're heading to the top of the Cascades today because it's safe to swim there. Litchfield National Park is named after Henry Litchfield, who led an expedition from South Australia in 1864. Litchfield is credited for being the first European to discover the incredible agricultural prospects of the Northern Territory, which now generates $750 million each year in the Northern Territory.
We've just climbed up quite high on the walk to this upper level cascade and check out the view from up here. Absolutely stunning looking over Litchfield National Park. Absolutely gorgeous. Check out that water. We're just finishing the last of the track here, and you can probably hear the water in the background. It looks absolutely perfect for swimming. I tell you what, I'm bloody hot. I need this. Have a look at this. This place is out of the world. Everywhere you go right now, you can swim in beautiful fresh flowing water. Oh. These cascades go on what feels like forever. I've just gone to the next level here, and there's more. And then you can see down there. What a perfect day for this. And just after a storm too, so it's nice and watery and wet. So these are the next level of cascades. Much deeper there. And a lot less slippery up here, which is nice. And a bit more sand. It's going to be hard to leave this place because this is one of the most idyllic places I've ever been to in my life. I spent the last hour swimming up and down these pools, with my eyes open, exploring and just loving it. It is amazing. Get here if you haven't been. We've just put up to Wangi Falls, and the drive in, you just got a quick glance of it and it's absolutely pumping.
Wangi Falls is Litchfield's most popular attraction, and it's easy to see why. In the dry season you can swim here and lay in the sun on the grass. However, in the wet season it's a different story. The water rushing off this waterfall is so intense that it would be impossible to swim safely. This is a sacred women's site for the indigenous people, where they bathed and relaxed. Men are not allowed to look at the waterfalls for too long in fear they get sucked in and eventually to their death.
Have a look at these falls. This is insane. Water rushing through here is nuts. The water coming up there is nuts. Flowing through here like it's no one's business.